Good evening, everybody. Mike Sparks, host of Coach's Corner East. We're back at the Pizza Hut in Gallion. Very last show of the high school sports season, and it's time for Colonel Crawford Sports, and it's their track, very successful track program. We'll be talking to Coach Preston Foy here in just a moment. The show is brought to you in part by Don Barr and Associates at your Gallion building in Long Bank. Matt Studer at Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Kia 1 mile east of the Richland Mall. Mark Osborne and Associates at E-Crane International serving worldwide markets from the Gallion Industrial Park. And Preston Foy joins me. Welcome. And as I mentioned off air, Jody Grove also on your coaching staff, doing distance, and probably many others, right?
Right, we kind of share our coaching staff. It's not really a guys, girls coaching staff. All our coaches work together, all have their different roles. So.
Do you like that?
I do. I think it's the most efficient way to do it, because when you look at track and field, it's a very unique sport where there's so many sports in one. You have high jump, you got long, you got pole vault, you got distance, you got hurdles, you got shot put, relays, and it's very hard to find competent coaches that can coach those things. So if you can join forces and share coaches, you get a lot more accomplished that way.
So if we put it in a football context, if you were just one coach, you'd be doing the line, the receivers, the quarterbacks, everything.
Right. I mean, I know a lot of football programs now, I mean, they don't platoon their staff anymore. I mean, they coach one side of the ball now. A lot of our coaches around the area, they have the offensive coaches, defensive coaches. I know when I was in high school, my receiver coach is the DB coach, the O-line coach is the D-line coach. You know, right now we're kind of specialized. We do the same thing in track.
Heck, I think in football it's even got to strong side, weak
right,
side.
Absolutely. I mean, Crawford was part of that too.
Yeah, it's even been broke down that far. So, really successful season again last year. Boys were third place behind Seneca East and Upper Sandusky in the N10. Carter Valentine ended up third in the state in high jump on the girls' side. First in the N10. Carrie was second. Upper Sandusky third, and Katie Ruffner, who's back this year, just did amazing things at state. Second in the long jump, fourth in the 100 hurdles, second in the 300 hurdles, and based on last year's roster, what I looked at the N10 website, you have quite a few coming back. You lose about 7 seniors on the boys' side and 5 on the girls' side. But on the boys' side, it looks like you return a large junior class that are seniors now, correct?
Yeah, the boys will be much improved this year. I mean, I think the COVID year from 2 years ago kind of put us far behind the guys' side. It takes a little longer for the guys to develop, but those are the girls in their junior, senior year. Not having that year, I mean, some of these boys here didn't participate until last year, the first year in track and field. So they look really good right now. I think they're kind of figuring out how we do things. So I think the boys will be much improved this year.
Numbers-wise, about how many boys 9 through 12 do you guess?
Close to 40, about 35, 30 for girls there.
Good. You happy with those numbers?
Yeah, that's usually pretty consistent. We got about 147 through 12 so in our program, which is great.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And when you look at the freshmen coming in, what are the kind of numbers for just the freshmen who are going to get their first taste of varsity track and field?
Well, the freshman class for boys at Crawford is very small. I mean, there's only maybe 28 boys in that class. It's very small. But they won the N10 last year at the junior high level. Distance-wise, we're very thin, so those boys will be, we'll have to count on them this year at the varsity level. But the sprinters and stuff, they're going to have a year to develop, to be ready, to participate in the big meets, these freshmen.
When you think about, or at least I do, maybe I think differently than other people, but when you look at other sports, and be it volleyball, be it football, be it basketball, for a freshman to come in and compete at the varsity level is really a challenge just because of the talent level of older young adults. Is it that much of a difference at track? Because you're either fast or you're not.
On the boys' side it is. On the girls' side, not as much. Like I said, the boys, it takes a while to develop them. And they turn to men by the time they're juniors or senior years, and there's these little freshmen up there with 110 pounds, Girls, though, I mean, there's some very talented junior high girls that are coming up now as freshmen. Will help us out a lot right out of the gate. So.
When you look at both rosters, the boys and the girls, what do you see as each team's strength as far as, is it relays, is it distance, is it sprints, is it field events? What do you see on each team being the strength?
On the girls' side, we're very balanced. Every aspect of track and field we're good. We got good throwers, we've got good field events, we've got very good distance because you're a cross-country team making state.
Right.
Katie Ruffner is one of the best athletes in the country. Lift crosser, returns at high jump, is an all-state high jumper. We might lack a little bit of depth in the sprint, so if some injury could happen, we have to be a little creative, but we got a lot of top-end girls who are covering all the events. Boy-wise, we're a little thin at distance right now. We have some really good junior high distance boys, but they're not coming up till next year. All we really have experience-wise, the seniors Luke Lawson. But the 4x1 team, we returned 3 of the 4 guys that were 5th at regionals. Lincoln wasn't even on that team. He was hurt. If he was on that team, he would have made it. 3 of the 4 guys in the 4x4 team that made it to state are back this year. So I think we can find a guy that we can plug in there and be back there as well.
Yeah, you mentioned Katie, and just does so many wonderful things. Signed with Iowa State, so she's going at Big 12, I believe, right?
Big 12.
Big 12, so good on her. And I saw that she's doing a lot of things like New Balance tournaments and things like that.
She's
right
qualified for a lot of All-American meets, so not just anybody can enter this meets. They have national standards and things like that. So, yeah, she's doing very well.
Good for her, good for you. We're going to take a moment to talk to young people around the table. We're brought to you in part by Steve and Chuck Keller at Keller Auto Parts, your Napa dealer, Uptown Galleon and Crestline. Marie Mounts at the Platinum Insurance Agency, your progressive agent, 131 Harding Way East, Uptown Galleon, and Joe Klein and Associates at the Galleon office of First Federal Bank of Ohio. And first up, it's Feik twin number 1, Julia Feik, right?
I'm the second one, actually.
You're the second one.
Yeah, I was born second.
Well, I meant first in line.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
you are younger than Corinne. Okay. Senior Julia, and what events will you be taking place in?
Shot put and discus.
What was the first one?
The shot put.
Shot put and distance. What is your stronger suit?
Shot put. I don't like discus that much. That's Corinne's thing.
Now, is that like a school record in shot? Is that something you can accomplish?
Yes, that's been my goal. I don't really care if I place first in any other meet. I just really want that.
And what is that?
It's, well, if I throw 40 feet, I get it.
Okay.
So I'm like a foot and a half, 2 feet away from it right now.
Yeah, and so you got time to build that up, but it's certainly something you want to accomplish.
Yeah, I want to be able to have, like, say that I have both records in both middle school and high school.
Good for you. That's a great thing to go after. Feeling good, your body's starting to get in track shape, strength is there.
Yeah, you build up on it throughout the year, so yeah.
On that shot put, is it more strength or is it more footwork in your opinion?
I mean, I don't do it as my coach wants me to, but I think it's more strength than footwork, but you kind of got to get the footwork down to even use the strength you have. So.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Well, you guys had such a great success coming back, and I wish you the best of luck. Enjoy senior year, your last sports thing before you graduate, and it should be a good time for
Yeah,
sure.
thank you.
You bet. Nick Teglemeck is up next. Great to see you again.
Good seeing you.
It's been a long time since the fall when your football season ended, but good on you, and I'm glad you came back. And what are you going to be participating in on the track side?
Shot put and discus.
Shot, put, and disc. Do you like better?
Probably shot now, but it used to be discus, but I'm starting to like the shot put a little more.
What changed?
I started to get a little stronger and being able to throw shot put a little farther than I used to, so probably that.
And that came from your football conditioning, right?
Yeah.
Very good. So you had such a successful year in football. Of course, if you know what's going on around here, the basketball team was successful.
Yes.
You guys have always had great track, great cross country, and that shouldn't end, should it?
No.
And Coach talked about really a lot of young people coming back on the boys' side that have 1 year experience, or 1 more year of experience. You got to be excited about that.
Yes, I am.
What are you hoping to leave a legacy on this last sports thing that you're going to be doing in high school?
I'd like to win the N10 track. That'd be a great goal, and I think we can do it.
All right, very good. Good luck, enjoy it. Next up is Colin Spangler, and welcome back. It's good to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
After a great football season, and you're going to be participating in what on the track side?
I do short sprints, from
Short sprint.
100, 200.
So out of the box, get it done.
Yep.
Yeah, and are you quick out of the box, or do you kind of do what you have to do and then excel right on through the end?
I haven't done much like block work, but I would say I'm pretty quick out of the blocks.
What would be your 100 right now?
I couldn't tell you
I
honestly.
mean, under 10?
No way, not a chance.
Not under 10, yeah. Okay. What do you hope to get?
I really don't know what a good 100 time is really.
Okay.
So
All right. You see how you look at me, and you know I'm not a sprinter by any stretch of the imagination. So I have no idea what a good time would be. Now, are you going to be doing any hurdles or not?
no.
No, just straight out sprint.
Yeah.
What's the thing that you're excited most about this year?
Probably the 4x1.
Okay. Yeah, because you got a chance to That'd be, it's back in Columbus this year at Jesse Owens and everything. Yeah, good. That'd be nice to get back down there.
That would be fun.
Yeah, a lot of all of you to get down there for sure. Well, thanks for coming. Enjoy it and enjoy your senior year there. And Lincoln Molokov is back. And
how we doing?
Good. How the self? Good to see you again. Congratulations on a very successful football season. And you're going to be playing at the next level, right?
Yep, I'm going to Wittenberg University.
Wittenberg, good. All right. Not only get a chance to play college football, really good education down there,
they are, yep.
and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
That's good football. I mean, a lot of people think Division III is not that great, but it really is good football. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about track. Are you going to be a sprinter as well?
Yeah, I run the 100 and then I long jump as well.
Long jump. Okay. What is your favorite of those two?
I would say probably 100, but long jump's pretty fun. Like, makes track fun.
What do you think you can get in the long jump?
I'm hoping for 20s this year.
Would that be a school record or?
Nah.
What school record?
I think Carter might have been last year.
It's not far, it's 22 feet though.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so, but you still enjoy doing it. A lot of guys on this year's team, you guys all pretty close, you get along?
Yeah, we're a pretty close group actually, yeah.
Yeah, and it's so different than when we talk about football. If you can remember, we said, well, who's your biggest rival? It's Winford or it's, Carey, whatever it might be. You don't really have that because there's so many invites.
Yeah.
But, do you have a favorite place that you like to run other than your own?
I've only ran track a few years, but I would say my favorite place to run is probably at Crawford. That's always where I got the fastest time.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Well, good luck. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. And Luke Lawson, the senior, and Coach said you're a distance runner, right?
Yeah.
One of the few back.
Yeah, I am one of the few back.
So you're doing both the 16 and the 32?
I actually run anything from a 400 up. So,
Really?
Yeah, relays, everything pretty much. I do prefer those longer distance events like the mile and 2, but the 2 is kind of rough sometimes, not gonna lie.
Yeah. How do you not run out of gas? I mean, especially when it's warm out, and how do you do a 1600 and then come back and do a 32?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I know you can ask Coach Foy how the ends of my races usually are, and I usually get moving pretty good there towards the end.
And then it's total collapse?
Yeah, I don't really know how I do it, but I do what I have to do. So.
Yeah, it's exactly it. Well, good for you. And what is going to be, is 16 or 32 your strongest one?
Probably the 16, yeah.
16, okay. Aerobically, you feel pretty good right now as you've gotten road work in and got some miles in right now?
Yeah, I feel pretty good right now. I might need just a couple meets to get under me before I can actually start getting my times down to where they need to be, but yeah, for sure.
Inevitably, and we think about the Elks, we could have snow, we could have rain, we could have nice weather. Do you like running in the little cooler weather, or do you like it when it starts to get blazing hot towards the end of the season?
55 degrees and sunny is what I like.
That's your perfect one. All right, very good. Well, best of luck to you, much success, and thanks for coming out.
Thank you very much.
You bet. And finally, Corin Feik. I finally got her name right. Jeez, Pete, it took me forever. But welcome back. Congratulations on a great basketball career. And, based on the regular season, one wouldn't have thought you would have gone that far in the tournament, and you ended up going a little farther than normal. So.
Yeah, it shocked us all, but I'm pretty proud of us.
Yeah,
pretty
good
cool.
for you. Good for you. And did you foul out anyone? Because you said that was what you were
No, the refs weren't very.
They weren't
They
accommodating.
just let it slide. So then I played harder, and then they still let it slide. So
Gotcha.
Should have played football, I guess.
What events are you going to be involved with?
I'm shot-putted discus. I'm a thrower.
All right, so you're with your sister there. Is there a
Yeah.
lot of competition?
There is, absolutely, yeah. She actually beat me out of regionals last year.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, did you go and congratulate her, or did you just kind of say?
Well, I had to cry it off for like a half hour, and then I went to congratulate her afterwards.
Yeah, good. I mean, that's got to make it fun. It's
was,
tough
yeah.
on mom and dad, but makes it really fun that the two of you, and there's got to be that inherent competition.
Yeah,
Not only are you sisters, but you're twins.
Yeah.
And, you like this girls' team's just loaded.
It is, yeah.
You have the potential to win the N10, win in districts, go to the state. I mean, that would be such a great way to top off your senior
It
career.
would, yeah.
Yeah, you think that's possible?
I think it's absolutely achievable.
Very good. Well, enjoy it, have fun, compete with your sister, and maybe you can get her back this year.
I'll try my best.
All right, very good. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Before we talk to Coach Foy, we remind you that we're brought in part by the Burkhart family at the Burkhart Farm Center, your Case IH dealer, straight west of Galion on the Manette New Winchester Road. Mike Kleinite at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Cyrus Mount Gilead and Marion, and sweet baby Ray Jones, Davy's little brother at Ohio Born Sash at 120 South Street in Galion. Coach, you were able to start practice back on the 21st 1st of February when the weather wasn't real good. Now it's getting a little nicer. I'm sure you've been out doing what you've needed to do, and it's probably much better doing it outside, isn't it?
We'd much rather be outside than inside, but I mean, we were inside because we had to be the first couple of weeks because we're not going to use that excuse not to practice. But
Right.
we've been outside for the last couple of weeks getting after it. So
When you look at the N10 on both the boys and the girls side, who do you see? I mean, we talked about Seneca East and Upper Sandusky on the boys side and Cary and Upper Sandusky on the girls side. Do you see them as being the
it's
stiffest
going to be the
competition
same
again?
thing this year. I was thinking the same thing. Most of the schools return quite a few of their kids back. The girls probably return more than anybody else. Seneca East didn't really lose a whole lot. Well, we didn't lose a whole lot either. So it'll be interesting to see what happens going to the N10.
But again, it's not a lot of head-to-head meets. You're doing a lot of invitationals. When I looked at your schedule on the OHSAA, I was like, holy crap. I mean, you look at the season opener, April 2nd at the Elks Invitational, always a great way to kick off the year. A lot of great schools. Saturday, April 16th, you're going to Glen Oak with the likes of McKinley, Mentor, Euclid, Hoover, St. Ignatius. That's got to be because of the talent you have, right?
Right. Now, there'll be some meets before that. I think like
Right.
on Thursday, we go to like the Buckeye Central Stash Dash, which is a smaller invite with smaller schools around here, so we'll send some younger kids there. And
I see.
some kids that we think are state potential, regional potential, we'll take the Glen Oak, things like that. We actually open up next weekend
Oh, okay.
at home. It's a 5-way meet with just some coaches that we know that are good friends with from Liberty Benton, Kalida, Ontario, and there's one more.
Mount Gilead.
Mount Gilead, thank you. So just some coaches that we know, kind of the coaching fraternity, just come over to Crawford, almost kind of a glorified scrimmage, just to kind of get the rust kicked off before the Elks meet.
Good. And then May 6th, just another one I noted, the Galleon invite over
Yeah.
here, a lot of big teams too.
We like that meets close, it's local, and like you just said, there's some big schools there. So the next week we have conference, so within the district runs, so it's our last weekend to maybe kind of see where we need to work on things with our pro season lineup. So that's kind of the idea behind that.
Yeah, very good. How many years coaching for you now?
15, 16 at Crawford.
Wow. Does it ever get old or stale or?
No, I mean, it's great now just having great assistant coaches. You know, when I started, there was just only a few of us, and now we're at the point where there's a lot of former athletes I've had that went off to college and come back and coach now, and colleagues I've met, you know, coaching against that are now on our staff. So it's just great to see it grow so much with so many good coaches being on your staff.
When you look at the success of the cross-country team, and I could call you and Jody Grove out and say, well, you know, the success of the track team was because of the coaches, but what is it? Why is it that running sports are so above? I mean, football, of course, we know, basketball, we know. What is it about Colonel Crawford and track and cross-country that make you guys so good?
Well, I know some of the boys do not like running. I mean, they'll tell you that right now if you ask them. But they know it makes them better. They like to have success. They know it helps them with football. It helps them with basketball. That's another thing, too, is we share our athletes very well. A lot of our athletes are 3-sport athletes.
Right.
We have the support from the other head coaches and other programs that we work together and share our athletes. And I think they know some of those other sports that we do a good job in our track and field program where their kids are going to get faster, maybe in our program, they're going to get stronger lifting. So they know they're getting a little return their investment as well. We're going to get these guys ready to go to them come football season or volleyball season, whatever next their favorite sport is.
Yeah, success breeds success. Absolutely. Very good. Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with all of you tonight. Wish you the best of luck. Thanks so much for coming out. Enjoy the season and get as many as you can down to Jesse Owens in June, and that would be fantastic.
Ultimate goal right there.
All right, very good. Well, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Take a break. We're going to come back. Kyle Strout, Crestline track team. We'll come back and talk to them after this time out.